What's up and welcome to the Indie Credible Podcast Season 2 Episode 36, a weekly podcast where we get together and chat about the world of indie gaming. We go through all the indie games we've been playing, we go through the latest indie game news, and we cover a main topic. This week's main topic is a very different one to what we normally do. And we're coming to the end of the year, there's not tons to really dive into when it comes to indie game wise. But what we want to do is, there's been, over the course of this year, lots of stories break around the AAA game market, kind of showing that it's kind of on a pretty bad downward spiral. And we're going to just chat at the end as a group of three, and we'd love your guys' input in discussions or comments below. And just about what we're calling the demise of the AAA market. So I have some stats. I've gone back to look at lots of stats. I have lots of info around it, and we're going to look at where we feel like the AAA market started to slip, where it started to go downhill, and does it basically mean that the indie game market is going to become more popular over the next couple of years? That's kind of where we're going on that one. But anyway, joining me as always is Dan from @TheDiceBear.
Hello.
And Tom from @ShriekandProfit.
Hello.
Obviously we had a
Hello. Whatever.
Yeah.
Jog on.
I'm busy.
You know when you watch Challenge TV and you got like one of the 80s game shows, and there's always some guy on there. Yeah, there's some guy on there who's like, and today joining us is John, and he's like, hi guys.
Hello.
That's literally you then.
Yeah.
That is you.
Well, thank you.
That's good.
That's nice.
We're going to win something tonight.
Maybe. Tom is busy for audio listeners. Dan brought around presents of some Stormcast Eternals from Game Workshop, and Tom's in the process of trying to pop it out of his fingers and not doing a very good job of it.
No, I've
I
done
don't know. He's about to put wrong bits in the wrong places, but you know, let's let the kid work.
Obviously, we have a pre-show for our lovely patrons where we talk really dive into about how the week was. But how was the week in general, gents, for our regular listeners?
Yeah.
That's what the regulars get.
Yeah.
Pay that $1, you get a little bit more.
Yeah, is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've lost Tom to toys.
To toys.
Tom is gone to toys. You're guessing you've had a busy week.
I've had a very busy week.
Broke up now.
Last week of term, so today was the last day.
Nice.
So I am now officially on holiday.
Oh, here
Cheers.
we go again.
Cheers.
Here we
Cheers.
go again.
Cheers.
No.
Cheers.
You got work on Monday, Tom?
Yeah, like every week.
Oh.
Like every week of the entire year, I go to work on Monday.
Do you not get 28 days holiday? I mean, it's not quite 16
I get
weeks,
less
but...
than 28 days holiday.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
I think I get 22, and some of it is automatically used up at Christmas.
Ooh. You know what? I think Monday morning we should both send him a picture of us in bed, either together or apart.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. Just
I'm
you at work?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
And also over Christmas, how long do you get at Christmas?
Yeah.
I mean, I
yeah. How long do you get at Christmas? Yeah.
It depends on when Christmas is, but usually
I'm looking up when Christmas is.
we'll get Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and then the rest of the working days up until the 2nd of January.
Okay, so Christmas is on
Not
the
bad,
Wednesday.
but I have no choice in that.
It's not bad.
So that they take that out of my holiday days for the year.
Yeah.
And they use that. So that basically brings my holiday days down.
I mean, they take out my holiday days as well, from the 11th of
wait.
December to the 4th of January.
You son of a bitch.
But I mean, I can't help it.
And
They
you work
force
for
it.
a week, and then it's half term,
And
and then you work for another week.
They force it. I don't choose it. They force it on me.
I'm working
I have to
until
take that time
I'd
off.
like to point out I'm working till the 20th of December.
Yeah, state schools do that, don't they?
Yeah.
Well, so am I, mate.
Yeah.
Or, but then I do go back to work on the 6th of January. So, I mean, when do you go back?
The 2nd.
Yeah.
The 2nd of January.
But anyway, guys, this is the Indie Credible
Sucks to be you.
podcast where we chat about indie games as well as our regular working schedule, and often take the piss out of Tom, who
Has a real job. Well, say real.
No, I have a real job.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't sit around doing piss all day while a bunch of kids fuck about in the classroom.
he's
No,
pretty much,
yeah, that
he's
last
pretty much
bit.
summed up my job.
That last
I've
bit's
got to
right.
work some work at home. Oh no, I'd love to work at home.
But yes, gents. So should we? So what? Well, before we actually move on, we are available on all podcast services. If you are watching us on YouTube and you only get halfway through the episode, and you think, "Oh, I need to go carry on with this episode," we're available on all podcast services on the go: Spotify, iTunes, Podcast FM, everywhere. But then again, also Cast
He
FM.
made one up. Podcast
Cast FM.
Is that a
That's
real
not
one?
what you said. But I'll go with it.
And vice versa, if you are listening to us, we are available on YouTube as well. And as we mentioned at the beginning, a little plug, we are available on patreon.com/Indecredible. $1 a month gets you everything. The higher tiers get you extra bonus perks, and patrons in November, in about 3-4 weeks' time, you'll have your little goodie boxes being sent out ready for Christmas. So your yearly goodie boxes will be going out. The sperm boxes, yes.
That's not what we're calling them.
No, that's what we're putting in.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, let's dive into some indie games we have been playing, gents. Who wants to talk about what they've been playing this week or the last couple of weeks?
I think Tom should, because he hasn't been here for a good couple of weeks. So I'm looking forward to a real
diverse, deep dive,
vast amount of indie games.
Yeah.
Transistor.
I finished that.
Okay.
Well done.
Cool.
I remember that. Yeah.
I played some other stuff, but the thing is, I've been gone for 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah.
2 weeks, and the first week I missed, I had played quite a bit, and I was ready to go. I had loads of stuff to say. Time has passed.
Yeah.
My brain isn't what it once was when I was a young man, and I don't remember anything past 3 days.
Right. Okay.
So I played some games.
Yeah, but you can't remember what they are.
Not really. I played Kine. That's what you sent me.
Yeah. So,
Kine. You've been playing Kine,
I played a little bit of Kine. Yeah.
What have you been playing on?
PC.
Okay. Yeah. So what do you think?
It's
So I played it on
yeah.
the Switch.
It's all right. It's a puzzle game. If people don't know, it's a puzzle game. It's traversal is the puzzle basically.
Yes.
You've just got to get from point A to point B, and each character basically has their own
set mechanics that will move them through, and your musical instruments.
Yeah, it's very strange. It's quite abstract, but it's fine. To be honest, a lot of the puzzles I've not played a huge amount. To be fair, I don't really get stuck because the second you're sort of like, I'm really getting this, just fiddle about a bit, and then it'll just figure itself out. It feels like.
Oh, okay.
Like you get to a certain bit, you're like, how am I doing this? And you sort of like go back and forward and then change that and do that, and I've done it. It's not always. It doesn't always feel like I'm figuring it out.
Have you done the one where you've got multiple instruments and you've got to work together with the multiple instruments?
I had one of those, I think.
Yeah.
I'm sure that probably adds a bit of difficulty to it.
It wouldn't say difficulty, but it does make you have to think.
Just a layer of thought,
thinking a few more steps rather than just I can
just go
back
nuts,
off. And I get what you mean exactly, especially near the start. You can just be a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll bounce around a bit, see where it goes.
I played that. I played something else that Lewis sent me. I've forgotten the name of. It's a 2D. It's like a fighting thing. It's I don't know what it's called. Driven Out is what it's called, isn't it?
I have no idea.
You sent it to me.
Yeah, I sent.
He doesn't remember what he
I
sent
sent lots of keys.
Driven Out. It's a game.
Okay.
I think that's what it's called.
Driven Out.
It looks visually it looks like a King's Quest game or something.
Oh, okay.
But it's nothing like that. It's a kind of a beat 'em up, I guess. It's 2D. It's one plane. You're not like, it's not Streets of Rage where you can move up and down the street and go along. It's just completely flat.
Old school Street Fighter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you're fighting, and you have high attacks, middle attacks, low attacks, and you sort of defend against them and parry and whatnot.
Right.
It's very difficult on PC.
Okay, how come it's difficult on PC?
Because the controls are unconventional. So I just find it difficult to play. I think I'd find it a hell of a lot easier with a controller. Because I think it's X, Y, and Z are the attacks.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean.
Defense, whatever. You hold shift.
Did you not plug a controller in?
I was gonna, and then I forgot about the game completely.
Okay.
You hold shift, and then X, Y, and Z become defenses for high, middle, low.
Yeah.
And you let go of shift, X, Y, and Z are attacks for high, middle, low.
Okay.
And the arrow keys are move. And just because that's such an unconventional control scheme for me, I just found it
to your eye,
too confusing. I was just like, I just kept dying, and when you die, you're back to the beginning.
Okay.
So yeah, I found that quite frustrating. I'm sure if I had a controller, I'd find it a hell of a lot easier. But yeah, it was okay. Probably played something else. And there you go.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I honestly can't find the game that I sent
Finish
you.
The Last of Us? Does that count? That's something
It's not an indie game.
No, but it's a game, and I
That is true. It is
Yeah.
a game. I cannot argue
You
that.
spoke about Last of Us last time.
Did I?
Yeah.
See, I never know. I forget what I talk about.
So Driven Out,
I
would you
never
recommend
remember what I
Driven
talk
Out?
about.
Hard to say. I don't think it's fair for me to say based on what I played because I found it stupidly hard and not.
And that's because you weren't used to the controls more than.
Yeah, it's not the game's fault. It's my fault for not being accustomed to that kind of control scheme.
Yeah.
I've never played a game like that before with a game with controls like that. Have you?
Not that I can think of. No.
X, Y, Z, shift, and the arrow keys are the controls.
No.
Yeah, it feels so strange.
Unless it's trying to do something like when it's going back to some like old original control set.
Possibly. I mean,
to
it's
kind of be a
pixely,
retro style game. And maybe that's how they used to play. Because I know...
Well, to be honest, I've played a hell of a lot of games.
Yeah, I could
all the way from the 80s.
Like,
and I can't think of one where you'd go XYZ and then shift to have XYZ.
Yeah.
It's just separate too.
But what blows my mind is Trev, when we play Destiny, uses the arrow keys to move. He doesn't use WASD.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he used the arrow keys to move because that's what he got used to when he was playing.
That's blasphemous.
Back in the day, and he's like, that's how I play. And he has
How's
everything
he
bound.
jumping to the
He has
other-
everything bound.
Oh,
to
he's
his
got
mouse.
bound to the mouse. Yeah.
Yeah, so he has
Yeah, no,
arrow
that
keys
makes
and everything
sense.
bound to the mouse.
That upsets me.
So
I
it wouldn't.
like it,
If you're used to, you don't, well, we all know that.
That's the only thing I can imagine.
You hate all our patrons.
It's the only thing
I hate everyone who ever lived.
could imagine is maybe they're trying to hark back to. Yeah, I mean,
Well, no, as you
but
know,
the shift in the XYZ, I kind of get because it's the same as when you have lots of controls on a gamepad, and they do like the whole hold down.
yeah, no, I've just seen it on there.
Hold down.
It reminds me a lot of actually of Shadow of the Beast.
Yeah, it is,
The
yeah.
colour
I
scheme
know
is
that,
not the same. It's all of that little bit. It's the same side scrolling attacking.
Right, okay.
I remember it now.
Sort of
I remember
thing.
saying it. To you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Or
even that just
it reminded me of Altered Beast.
Altered Beast.
Yeah, in terms of when I saw it, I was like, oh, it just reminds me visually a bit of
I
Altered
fucking
Beast.
loved Altered Beast, but
But yeah, so nice. Anything else, buddy, or is that your?
I mean, like I say, there likely was more.
If you remember anything, let us know and we'll jump back to you.
What, like in any point in the podcast?
any point in the podcast.
Right. Okay.
It's
fine.
it's a new thing in the
Yep.
podcast.
Yeah, I can interject.
Tom
at any
remembers.
point. That's a good segment.
Yeah.
Tom
do
remembers,
a
yeah.
graphic for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna do that.
Yep.
It could be an old dude. Just
Why won't you look me in the eyes when you say it?
I'll do it. I'll do it.
my God, lovers tiff
It'll
again.
it'll be a classic.
There's no life in these eyes.
It'll be a comic. It'll be a Comic Sans word over
That's
your
fine.
face.
That's
it.
perfect. Yeah.
Over his
I love
face.
it. I love it. A really harsh close up of my face.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Tom remembers.
remembers.
In Comic Sans.
That's it.
Misspelled.
yeah.
Who wants to go next? Dan, do you want to go next?
Yeah,
Shall I
I'll go next because I haven't actually really played any indie games this week. I've been playing Magic the Gathering Arena, which
Nice.
is kind of an indie game. It's got a lot of money behind it, mainly because Throne of Eldraine came out and I've been looking at the cards in it. And yet again, I stick with the same thing. Magic cards are some of the most interesting cards out there, but it's got one of the worst systems.
The monetization system
ever.
is so bad. Yeah.
And well, also your land systems, everything
Oh,
like that.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
the
yeah.
actual game before you head into it is a bit crap, but the new cards are amazing.
Yeah.
They really do open everything up to creating all sorts of weird and wonderful things.
Yep.
And Cat's Quest 2 I've been playing a lot of, and Cat's Quest
Nice.
1.
I've just got Cat Quest 2 on Switch. I
Yeah.
haven't played it yet, but I've got it on Switch.
Who wants to give me their Switch?
You can probably borrow mine at one point if you want. I've got
Play Cat Quest.
a
Yeah.
shite ton of games on there.
Oh,
Actually-
I don't have Cat's Quest on
actually,
the
to be fair-
Switch, so
There's probably a lot that I can play for our Game of the Year on Switch.
I've got Cat Quest 1 and 2 on
Yeah.
there now.
Yeah.
So once I've done with Cat Quest 2, I'll make sure there's no games coming out that I'm going to need to Switch to review.
Yeah.
And then you
Yeah,
can have
go
it for
for
a
it.
couple of weeks.
Oh, I love
Although
that.
I am going to start missing my Marvel Alliance 3.
Get over it.
Yeah.
so yeah, no, I haven't played a lot. I'm jogging on from Marvel Alliance 3 because Jesus. So go for it.
The board games count. Tom remembers. We played board games.
We had a board game night, didn't we?
They count. Sure.
came
These are
around
the
mine.
games. Yeah. We played two, me and you.
Yeah, played Hat Games and
What was the first one?
we played Dead of Winter. Oh, the first one we
Yeah.
played was by Roxley Games and it was Dice Throne,
I really like that.
which was a
Very quick.
combat game, nice dice game where you're
Yeah.
just beating each other up. And then we played Dead of Winter from Plied Hat Games,
Yeah.
Very
where we
good.
were pretty darn sure Lewis was going to screw us
Well,
over.
the thing
at
is, he's just got the nature of.
I
a
played
traitor.
into it a little bit as well.
You really
Yeah.
did.
At the
Yeah,
end, I
yeah.
was like, I know how they expect my persona
I'm sure
to
we
react
both
to it.
were.
Your
we were-
persona.
Yeah, because
Let's
it's
not
only
put
my
it out there
persona
that
that's
this is a
evil.
persona.
So I bring
You mean your illness?
yeah. But no, I saved the day.
You did save the day, but I'm sure
Yeah,
we,
you
we
did.
were both so sure that we were
That
screwed.
we were screwed. Yeah.
Yeah. That was good.
Yeah.
It was a really
It
good
was a
game.
good
Really
game,
enjoyed it.
Yeah. So yeah, Dead of Winter is like a zombie post-apocalyptic
Survival game.
Yeah.
where you work as a team of between. Can you do it in twos?
What?
You can play it as a two-player
So
game.
two
and you don't.
up to 8? Did you say?
Yeah, it's better as
That's a big
three-player
game.
and above.
3 player.
If you're playing two-player, you don't have someone in it
Three
who's
players
going to betray.
felt perfect, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if you have too many, it feels quite boring between your turns.
Yeah, it can slow down a lot.
I've been spending like
rounds are like
30 minutes. Is my
rounds are like
turn.
20 minutes between 3 of us.
Yeah,
there's only like 5 rounds to get through. It's like an hour and a half was a good game time.
Yeah, I think it was really good.
No, it's cool.
Good game.
It's cool.
And we've got Jaws coming. Next weekend.
Was it next weekend? I am busy next weekend.
I'm looking.
Well,
forward
I need to
Jaws.
learn how to play it.
Well, then you do that next weekend.
So we've
and the weekend after that, we'll do
it.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll bring the speaker.
I have played
Yes.
2 games. I've played more than that actually this week, but indie game wise, I've played 2 games this week.
Right?
Yeah, well, today I played a bit of the Outer Worlds rather than an indie game I was going to jump onto because I wanted to play that. And play on a bit more Destiny, play quite a lot of Mythgard because there's a tournament this weekend I'm in. But yeah, so 2 indie games played. I've played Lonely Mountain Downhill and Spin Rhythm XD.
Yes.
What would you like first?
Go with Lonely Mountain first.
Oh, okay. I was just...
Lonely Mountain Downhill.
I already know what he thinks of Spin.
So Lonely Mountain Downhill is a game I was really quite hyped for. I remember Rezzed, I kind of hunted it out, and the queue was too big, so I didn't play it. But I've been keeping an eye on it for a long time. I've been talking about it a long time, and the only other game I've played similar to this would be Descenders. So I'm going to actually refer quite a lot to Descenders in this little kind of mini review, whatever you want to call it, because they literally are hand in hand downhill mountain biking games. Lonely Mountain Downhill it actually, I feel like, falls very short from the potential it has. Now, as a game, it's perfectly good in terms of it runs really well, and what it's trying to do as this kind of puzzle game, this isometric puzzle game, where you're trying to get this bike and the rider down the hill without crashing or crashing a few times as possible. It's nice. It's this solo puzzle game, and you need to judge your speed, and you need to obviously brake and bank corners, and there's lots of shortcuts. There's no set route down. There is a set path that you're meant to follow, but you could literally, if you want to jump off this cliff here, and if you could land it, you can land it. So in terms of speed running, there's huge potential there to knowing when I can drop off and when I can't drop off, and that's really nice. Visually, I really like the visuals it's gone for. These kind of very low poly visuals. So there's kind of lots of jagged rocks and stuff like that. It doesn't feel that the hitboxes feel pretty tight, and the reason I use that is because when you're in these kind of games where you're going through tiny little gaps, they have to be like spot on, and it can be very frustrating. Like there's a couple of times when I hit a route and I was like, why am I crashing? And then I'd realise that there's a route from a tree, and I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense now. I have 2 issues with the game. One minor, one huge issue. And I don't know if I'm building up this up in my head to be huge, but it just feels really, really alien for them to do this. Now, the minor one is the progression in the game is minimal. So the way it works is there's 2 mountains. I think there's 3 mountains overall, but there's only 2 at the start. I think you have to unlock one, because reading through how many challenges there are, it doesn't add up on the 2 mountains. So it's very much like there must be a 3rd mountain somewhere. Right. And each mountain has 3 different trails. I mean, each trail has 4 difficulties. You have welcomed difficulty, where you don't actually have any challenges. The idea is you finish the welcome difficulty just to get down the mountain, and then you unlock all of it. Now, the difficulties don't actually add anything to the mountain in terms of environmental puzzles. What they do is they add challenges. So the beginner one will be like, get down the mountain in under 3 minutes and crash less than 25 times. By doing that, you maybe earn a bike part, and you'll maybe earn an outfit, or you'll earn a new trail to ride down. And then the issue is, as they go on, the medium and then the hard challenges are just so uninspired. They're just like, now do it in under 2.5 minutes, and do it in under 17 crashes. That's all they improve on. And if I go back to Descenders, that had like a challenge on every mini course you're on, where it was like land a 540 backflip, or jump over a helicopter, and it was a lot more versatility in it. It was like, oh, I'm on a flat course here, but I need to land a 720 to get my points. I need to try and find a way of getting that air and land, and it was that risk and reward. Okay, I could just miss this challenge if I want, and I won't get the rep points, or I can go for it. This doesn't have that risk and reward. And the risk and reward is even more, like, taken back even more with one of the most stupid decisions they've made in this game. And that is with the boost mechanic. The boost mechanic in this game is flat down dumb. It is so stupid. It works like nitros on a car.
Right.
So by that I mean is you're going down a hill,
Yeah.
you press boost, cycle really fast, you take your finger off boost, you slow down. I'm going downhill, where's my momentum? Like, there is no
Right,
momentum
okay, I see what you mean.
on the bike. This hasn't got rockets on it. Like, why am I slowing down when I stop boosting? Like, the boost should be a sprint pedal to build up speed, and then I can go down the hill, and I maintain my speed. By allowing me to maintain speed and momentum, you're adding a risk and reward of, I'm going faster to finish it quicker, but I need to have better control of my bike, and I need to judge the cornering better.
Corners become far more
You're
risky,
not,
far more
yeah,
scarier. Yeah.
you're not. You're making me go. And when I stop boosting and end up going uphill, I might as well be down Gildridge Park riding with my 4-year-old niece. Like, you're like, and I'm like, really? And it works like a stamina bar, so it goes down and you can't boost again. And the lack is such a simple thing, but the lack of momentum makes this game feel, and this is going to sound weird, feel like a video game. And in terms of Descenders was an edge of your seat thrill ride, because it was like, I've got all this speed now, I'm having this kind of mini downhill mountain bike experience because I'm hitting the train here, I need to judge this here, and you're in the game, because you're like, and you finish it, you're like, oh, Jesus Christ, I've done that, like, whoa, I set a high score, I set the high score because I had the risk and reward, I went fast and all that. This is like, and that's literally, and it is the worst thing about this game. If they take that one mechanic out, I think this game is very, very good. But I can't, like, it blows my mind the fact that they have a physics-based puzzler in terms of how your bike lands on terrain, how you go over the mountains, how you completely control your bike, to literally make one of the most broken physics mechanics in the game.
Right.
Like,
completely ruins your.
I I'm baffled.
So the rest of the gameplay is very physicsy.
Yeah, because you're controlling this bike down a hill and you land like flat off a drop, then you crash. You have to land downhill. You have to judge your bike in the air. You have to like speed off the edge of drops. It's nice. There isn't like, so where it is different to Descenders is more freestyle. So I mean, there's kickers, there's jumps.
Yeah.
This is more like there's a genuine trail. So you don't ever get like kickers. You just get drop offs. But you still need to balance your bike in the air. If they're going to challenge you to work with physics, why would you make a boost like a Nitros? Like, it literally feels like you might as well give me a Honda Civic 95 with like a body kit on it to go down the mountain, because that's literally what you've done. Just made it look like a bike. And I just don't get it. I just don't get it.
Seems weird.
It is. And as soon as I've done it, I was like, oh, that's weird. Maybe there's like maybe it's a setting in the menu. Yeah. Nope. It's just the way the boost works.
So Lonely Mountain Downhill versus Descenders.
Oh, Descenders all day long.
Okay.
It has no chance in the world.
Of the downhill mountain biking genre.
Dave Mirror. No, that wasn't that.
I'll put it this way. I checked this after playing it, because Lonely Mountain Downhill, I've put about 3 hours in and I'm done with it. I'm fine. I've unlocked all the trails on those 2 mountains. I've only got to go back and get the t-shirts and hats, whatever you want. I'm done with it. I don't need to play anymore. Whereas on Descenders, I'm currently just over 30 hours on it, and I still jump on that game every now and then.
That's a lot of hours for a downhill mountain bike game.
Yeah. But it's like it makes you go, are you skillful enough to finish this game? Whereas Lonely Mountain Downhill goes, well, we're going to make it a little bit of a challenge, but we're going to hold your hand as well by not letting you boost X amount. But and we move on then to my last game I played, Spin Rhythm XD. I had never heard of this game. I knew nothing about this game. It was only because I got the email about it, and I'll be honest, I read the email about Spin Rhythm XD, and the title alone made me think it was one of these mobile, like Spin Rhythm XD. I was like, this is going to be a mobile, junky, trashy game. And I saw the screenshots for it, and I was like, I'm not fussed. And then I was randomly on the crapper, looking at my phone as you do.
Rambling on the crapper.
I was randomly just sitting on the crapper.
Oh, I thought you said rambling.
Yeah.
I was like,
he just can't stop, you see. He's
just rambling, chuntering away while taking a shit.
And I was on Twitter, and I saw loads of people talking about this Spin Rhythm XD, about how it feels like a unique rhythm game and all that. I was like, well, I just got offered a key for this. Like, oh, what's going to hurt? Like, I'll give it a bit of time.
Yeah.
So it came through, and I was like, oh, do you know, I'll do a what is video about it. I'll just see what it's like. And I started playing it, and I was like, this is quite cool. And then I finished the what is video, and I was like, yeah, I really want to play more of this. I've ended up playing about another hour and a half of it since, and I really like it. It does something that baffles me in terms of I can't understand how a rhythm game hasn't done something like this before, because it feels so simple. But because it feels so simple, it feels so good. So the way it works is you have a wheel at the bottom, and on easy and normal mode, the wheel has 2 colours. That is it. Simply 2 colours, has red and blue. And I've played on gamepad and on mouse and keyboard now. And they both feel great. Actually, mouse and keyboard probably feels better.
Right.
A side note, if you do own a MIDI CD turntable, you can plug it into your PC and play this game with a full-on turntable, which baffles me. But anyway,
That's great.
Yeah,
it's like DJ Hero.
Basically, yeah. So the way it works is you have these classic little dots come down the screen. You can probably see it on the trailer now. And you have to press on the mouse and keyboard, which I'll reference to, is you press W and D to move left and right, and you have to click with the mouse.
Clicking
so it's
to click with the mouse.
Just like DJ Hero.
Yeah, just like DJ Hero, moving the mouse. But then it starts doing these things where these held notes, and you have to start moving the mouse while you're holding it down.
Like DJ
and then you have to start spinning stuff quickly. Yeah, so it's like DJ Hero, but DJ Hero, when DJ Hero got hard, the answer to making it hard was we're just going to throw more notes at you at once.
Yeah.
Whereas this adds more colours to the bar, and my fucking god, it gets hard. Because when you get good at this game, so naturally you'll go from all the way left to right to get from blue, but you don't. You actually go left a tiny bit to then bring the other side, and and you're in your head. You're like, I know I need to turn left, but you can't because on the screen you're like, I need to get it over there, but it's really hard to explain.
But it looks like fun,
and it's very simple in terms of its gameplay mechanics, but where it's simple it's that classic thing. And you can give it to anyone, and I could give it to Sarah on easy, and she'd be like, and then she'd probably go, I can do better now. And it does what rhythm games need to do. I can do more now. I can do better now. And I'm already like, I want to play more.
Okay, music.
I knew you were going to ask this.
Because this is the important bit for me.
What is the music? Good?
So the music is, so at the moment there's 15 tracks available. I haven't played every single track in the game, because there are a couple that are, I've tried them. They're insanely hard, so I've just kind of dropped down a bit. The music is, I don't want to say just EDM, but it is majority EDM stuff.
Does it play off as well as Invector?
Sorry?
Does it play off EDM as well as Invector?
It has a very nice mix. So you have what I would describe as Western dance EDM, and you have lots of kind of Eastern video game inspired like Japanese.
Okay.
I don't know if I call it EDM, but you know what I mean. Like,
yeah, I know what you mean.
Chip-tuney kind of dance tracks. As
really
far as
high tempo.
Yeah, I mean, the idea of it is you are playing a DJ, so you're never going to have rock tracks. You're never going to have stuff like that.
That's not true, because I've been to many school disco. I've listened to The Cause. Where is The Cause? One of these.
So
Bewitched should be kicking through.
Bewitched would be great, yeah.
Or Double Denim.
Honestly, in all seriousness, it surprised me how nice it feels to play and how fun it feels to play. And my god, it gets hard. It gets so hard. Like the gameplay that Tom's watching now to get reference to it and Dan's watching, it's like it looks so simple, but it is so like the spin them and the flick and the flick.
Even the UI looks really nice.
What I think is quite funny is it's actually reminding me more of a shmup.
Than
a thing, because if you look at the speed of the ones we're watching at the moment, has a whole load of. If you imagine them as helicopters coming down the screen shooting at you, you've got to try and avoid the way through while hammering that button to go there.
I'm with it. Yeah,
definitely. It has that shmup edge to it, which we all know is highly addictive. One
thing that's really nice that you can do as well is, so your brother picked up on it straight away when he was like, the backgrounds seem really boring. There's a whole background customization thing. You can go in and build your own background. So when you're playing through, you can create your own backgrounds to play through, basic like things like that. It's challenging. It's simple to pick up, and it's kind of addictive in gameplay wise.
How well does the gameplay suit the music?
Yeah,
you get some river games where it's a bit sort of like.
This is what I guess
I'm playing this song
in the What Is video. It's like spot on. Like
you really feel like.
And I wanted to go into a hard one just to see, because that's when you get every note.
Right.
And oh my god, I was just like, what?
So if you miss a note, what happens?
Miss one note. You get, so the song plays slightly lower in the background, and you're playing the notes.
I know what you mean.
And then when you miss a note, it goes like boop, like dud. But if you miss 2 or 3 notes in a row, you can't play that whole section. It blocks you out of that section.
Right.
You miss 3 sections, you fail the level.
You're done.
Yeah.
See, I like it. My issue with it is that I think we're missing one of the beautiful bits about rhythm games like this, and like we had was Guitar Man and Space Channel 5 and Parappa the Rapper and things like that, which are rhythm based and have this is there was always this crazy out there story going on in the background, and that's kind of this. I like the idea, but give me a story.
So this is early access. There is a story coming when it goes to 1.0.
Oh, okay.
So when it releases 1.0, they will have a fully fledged 30 tracks, lots of other stuff that they said they're teasing, but there's
the
no full
background
story.
is still going to be whatever you make, instead of it being, oh look,
relevant.
Here they are
Yeah.
in Parappa the Rapper's
I don't think
gym,
they've
rap.
I don't think they've decided that, because I'll be honest, I think they probably didn't expect it to be hugely popular. But from what I've seen about it, it's actually had a very big uptake and people have jumped on it very quickly. And it's a lot of people are streaming it. And they've done a thing, they've come out and said basically, you were more than entitled to stream this and make content on this, and we won't give you copyright strikes, although it's licensed music. They've covered the licensed music on it. Okay. So they've encouraged people to make content on the game and say that we've covered the licensed music issues. As long as it's something in the game, you're fine. You may get a copyright strike, but appeal and we'll deal with it. Basically, yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
That's really cool. Yeah.
So yeah, it's cool. It's definitely one I'm going to keep plugging away at, and it's one I want to challenge you at, because I think I'll destroy you again, because like normal on rhythm games.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, but that's that's Spin Rhythm XD. Really shite name, I'm going to be honest. I don't know what the XD is all about, but
is it
a smiley face for me? Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Yeah. Should we go on some news, people?
I'm so random XD.
News?
How are we feeling?
I want to skip the news this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. No news, please.
This is the new poutine section, where we're going to talk about the amazing poutine recipes we've heard of.
I just really want some, right now.
Yeah.
I wish McDonald's did poutine.
Indie game news.
Oh, okay.
We're going on.
We were in the poutine section.
No. Kicking us off, only 4 pieces of news this week. One of them is, well, I had to really dig for news this week because there was not much.
That's why we made the poutine section, but you ditched it in its first outing.
First piece of news this week is Narcos Rise of Cartels has got a release date for the 19th of November. Now, for those who don't know, this game is developed by Kuju and is being published by Curve Digital. It's a turn-based, for lack of a better term, I'm going to use it because it's a very broad terminology that everyone understands, XCOM style turn-based game based around Narcos and the cartel. What's very interesting, which a lot of people don't realise, is this game is actually directly tied in with the Netflix series and Netflix season 1 specific, because you're literally replaying the story of number 1. The idea of the game is it's going to play out some scenes that were done off screen on the So apparently I've not seen the TV show, but apparently the TV show didn't have tons of the gunfighty sections. It had some of them, but didn't have tons of them. And this is very much more. Yeah. This is the gunfight section that happened in there, and you're playing it out.
Okay,
interesting.
So it's an interesting way of doing it. It's coming to PS.
So back to poutine.
Yeah, oh, man, kill some poutine.
PS4 and PC on the 19th of November, and Nintendo Switch and Xbox on the 21st of November. Are you guys interested by it at all?
I didn't really enjoy the TV show, so this one.
Well, you're the first one I've ever met who's watched it.
Oh, okay.
I tried to watch it and I didn't enjoy it either.
Yeah.
I've never even tried. I've heard it's good, but I just can't bother.
Yeah. But I mean, as far as I know, well, we're gonna have a review for it.
I've been really put off. I don't want to say this.
Go on, do it.
The turn-based XCOM ones
because they're bad.
No, Mutant Year Zero.
Because they're outdated.
No, I think it's a really good mechanic and it can work, but it's just
the only one I know coming out soon.
It did work.
Don't hurt
30
my
years
childhood.
ago.
The only one coming out soon.
Then I agree. It was great back then.
The only one coming out soon.
2019.
But I think
let it go.
Is good and will work.
Past die, as Kylo Ren would say. I watched Last Jedi last week.
Yeah.
The only one coming out that I think will work and is looking good.
Here we go.
Is Phoenix Point, because they deal with the RNG element quite nicely.
By not having it?
There is a
No.
tiny bit of it, but
Just don't have
it's
it.
a lot more controlled. In terms of this is the guaranteed damage you're going to do, or you can go for the
you
crit
get
damage.
bonus, yeah.
So you can try and get the crit damage if you want. You're guaranteed to do that damage, but you can then try and roll to do that damage and the extra that damage
Well,
as well.
that isn't RNG then, really. Is
Well,
it?
no, because you're rolling still.
There is a certain
for
amount
a
of
crit, not before the
yeah.
guaranteed
Yeah.
damage.
Yeah.
That's the thing that what was it? Mutant Year Zero.
Yeah.
But it's
That's
still
the thing
RNG
that
because
really
because
pisses
crit.
me
I'm
off.
right behind him with a shotgun. Oh, you missed.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm sorry, it said 99% chance. How
Yeah.
did I miss?
I'm stealthing in the side of wall
Well, you had
with
one chance on
no
missing.
inside a building
He
with
was
no
sucking
way
the
of
end of
looking
my
in.
shotgun. How the fuck did I miss
Yeah.
it? Yeah, fuck that game.
Have you ever played
Fuck
XCOM?
RNG. No.
That's
No,
exactly
I
what
played
I
XCOM,
never
does the
will.
same thing, and I
Does the same
thought
thing,
XCOM was overrated.
But yeah, the so that's coming. I'm going to give it a go because I like those games.
Yeah.
I have no care about the fact the whole Narcos. It's just, will they do that mechanic well? Is what I'm more
You don't have to
interested
watch
in.
the show now. You
So-
play this game instead.
I'm
Exactly.
still waiting for, actually, thinking about these turn-based ones, is there was supposed to be a Dark Crystal game.
It's still coming.
There is, isn't
Yeah.
there?
It's been delayed.
Yeah, well, the
It's
problem
like
is
April
now,
next year now.
yeah, that's no fucking good. Everyone have watched Dark Crystal by that point,
Oh,
and
there's
they'll
sort of
be like,
season
oh,
2
it's
coming,
gone.
don't there?
Well, there might be. It's not definite.
Oh, yeah,
I
probably will.
thought it's signed for a trilogy. I read.
No.
I was told that there's going to be 3 seasons.
I heard that apparently streaming shows that come out as a streaming service only do well in their first 2 seasons.
Is it
And
Dark
a lot of
Fate?
companies like Amazon will only sign for 2 seasons for any show
All right.
because it does the most money. So
Yeah.
most of them will do at least 2 seasons.
Well, we'll get a second season of Dark Crystal. I thought it was brilliant. I really, really
Still
There's
enjoyed it.
gameplay.
I've never seen the original, so I can't really. I don't want to watch it.
No, you should watch this without watching the first
Okay.
movie. Because then when you watch the first movie, you'll
Yeah.
appreciate the first movie so
I'll
much
ask him
more.
about it. I think she's seen Dark Crystal, so I should probably be up
Yeah.
for watching it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Next piece of news: Dead End Job, a game that I played at EGX Resd.
You play it every day.
Yeah. I played at EGX Res early this year. Has got a release date. Has got a release date of the 13th of December. It is available now on Apple Arcade, but let's be honest, who plays mobile games? It's coming
Arcade
to.
isn't just mobile.
It's coming
But who
to.
has Apple Arcade?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
It's coming to all consoles and PC, not Mac, because who cares about Mac? On the 13th of December. So
Hang on, didn't you say it was Apple Arcade?
yeah,
So it's on Mac.
it's on Mac now, but who cares about Mac?
Oh, okay.
You don't buy a Mac to play games, do you? You don't go, oh,
You-
Dad, I
you
want a
buy
gaming
Mac
PC.
Photoshop, that's why you buy a Mac.
Yeah,
Yeah, because you're a flouncy artist.
that is exactly why I do it. Yeah, you get free brioche when you buy a Mac.
Do you?
Yeah,
Oh
that's
wow.
Free brioche and a
That's
necktie.
what flouncy artists
That's it,
have.
yeah.
Brioche.
That's it.
Is that your idea of posh?
Well, no, it's 'cause working in Brighton. The kids will all come in eating brioche because they're all. Oh, what's my dad?
Do
oh,
they
my,
really?
My dad's not.
Probably.
Yeah, they all come in eating
Yeah.
brioche.
Yeah.
Get some.
Or you're
Hovis
like-
down you, mate.
Get some COVID. Good
Doorstop.
northern bread.
Doorstop Hovis. Brioche. Fucking brioche. You can't go anywhere and eat Brighton and get a burger that isn't in a brioche
Nah,
bun.
brioche buns are
That's
everywhere
true.
now.
Yeah.
Even in Helsham.
Everywhere.
The local chippy in Helsham, all the burgers are brioche buns.
Brioche
now.
buns, yeah.
That's just a selling point. Isn't it?
Everywhere
yeah, we've got
does
brioche buns,
halloumi.
mate,
I
yeah.
don't hate brioche buns. It's just
No.
weird that they are everywhere now.
Everywhere does halloumi now as
yeah,
well.
they have a halloumi burger and a brioche bun.
Yeah,
It's
and
chippy.
avocado.
And avocados in
Does
fucking
my
everything.
nothing.
Yeah.
I went. This genuinely pisses me off. Side note now.
Here we go.
Okay.
This is the
Now
Incredible podcast.
I
This is what
really
we do.
like Nelson's. I do really like Nelson's. I
Yeah.
haven't actually been back
You
there for a
both
while.
do, don't you?
I haven't actually been back there for a while because they genuinely disappointed me. They didn't anger me. They disappointed me a little while ago. I went in there for a bacon sandwich and they changed their menu like every 3 months don't
Yeah.
they, to go seasonal.
Pretty cool.
Bacon sandwich come out. I mean, bacon sandwich, what? 500-year-old recipe. Doesn't need to be broken, does it?
Bacon,
Yeah.
bread.
Bacon and bread, yeah?
Yeah.
Bacon, bread, had avocado in it. I don't dislike avocado. Didn't
But
say on the menu. Avocado's in it.
Oh,
I'm talking
that's
wait a minute.
bad news.
It ain't broke, don't fix it. Like I don't
You
need
should always declare what it is. On
I
the
don't
menu.
need avocado in a bacon sandwich. I'm not from Brighton and I'm not an artist. Take this avocado away, and you know what? You're killing bees. You're killing bees by getting all this avocado.
What?
Have you not heard it? The thing I've told you this before.
People who pick avocados.
No, avocados-
hate bees,
Hey,
don't they?
bees, hate 'em.
Like the Times really pissed a lot of people off a couple of months ago when they published this article basically saying that avocados aren't vegan anymore because they're so mass produced. They have to keep the bees
right,
in
I
a set,
see what
and
you
they have
mean.
to basically breed bees to get enough bees, and the bees are on a scheduled time
Nothing wrong
to
with breeding bees, is there?
So
That doesn't kill bees.
that helps
as
bees.
well. Breeding
I mean,
bees.
as
It
in-
boosts the
but bee-
population of
Breeding
bees.
bees does the
no,
opposite.
but as in
of
bees
killing.
are kept in captivity to be let in and out for the
They're
avocados.
let out.
Fuck them, they're bees.
So
I'm sorry,
and-
a bee isn't all the fuck he is.
so technically,
I don't care
technically,
what a bee thinks. You know what a bee thinks? A bee
So-
thinks.
I can't remember who it was. It might as well have been. How much it pissed people off?
Holland.
It might as well have been Jeremy Clarkson that wrote the article, because he basically was like, yeah, they're not like vegans are all about not having like eating stuff that's naturally sourced from.
Yeah.
And then the fact that bees are being kept in captivity
Right.
to produce their avocados pissed a lot of people off. People were like, what?
Well,
be
no,
fair,
hang on,
right.
hang on. When we say a lot of people, what we mean
Vegans, but they get
is
pissed off. anything.
vegans,
Yeah.
and vegans are
Mate.
mouthy shits.
Yeah.
Really.
Living
So,
with a vegan,
yeah,
engaged to one,
unlucky. I'm sorry.
but you'll be surprised how much vegan baiting articles there are in the world.
Oh yeah, loads.
Because it gets some clicks.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they can't help themselves.
No,
But
vegans
clicking on
are
it.
wired
But-
wrong.
Yeah,
It's because they don't get the meat.
It really like. She just can't not click on this stuff.
No.
I'm like, who gives a fuck? I don't fucking read it. Who cares? And she's like, oh, I'm like, it doesn't matter.
But
It's not
that's
going to
because
change your life in any
You
way.
just say to her, you're vegan, you don't have an opinion anyway. It's fine. like,
that's because you eat meat. So the part of your brain that is reasonable
That
is
doesn't
being
come from
fed
me.
properly. Right? Whereas vegans, come on, click it.
It's so
Click those buttons, you
yeah,
dirty
man,
vegans.
it gets some clicks though. That's
Oh,
why
yeah.
Piers Morgan's all over it.
Oh
Because
yeah.
he gets them YouTube clicks when he gets that stuff.
probably, yeah.
That's why
But
Piers
he
Morgan
is a
does
twat.
most
I
stuff.
can't
Oh yeah,
stand
big
it,
time.
yeah.
but anyway, yeah,
What were
the
you talking about?
bacon
Dead End Job.
sandwich with
Actually, we were
avocado
talking
is
about
bad.
Dead
But
End
Dead
Job,
End Job
and Apple
and
something.
yeah, we went off of an Apple. But anyway, Dead End
Yeah.
Job, which is
Yes,
available
that's
on
what
Mac.
we got, yeah.
Back to where we started.
That
is,
comes out when?
So it comes out on the 13th of December. I had one concern about this game. I played it at Res, and I actually really liked what I played. And what I played felt like finished. And I said to the guy, oh, when's this game out? Because it feels really good. And his words to me were, the dev said, this is very much, you're playing a vertical slice this game. I made this just for this demo here. The game's several years away from being finished.
Oh wow! And a year
And
later,
then,
it's out.
not a year later, 7 months later.
Oh yeah.
It is like, games available now. So I don't know if it's a case of it's very, and then you get
Did
free
he get
content
some extra
updates.
funding or something?
I have no idea.
Maybe Apple.
It was an
like
Apple exclusive for like time
Oh,
exclusive.
likely, surely Apple gave him a bit of moolah for that.
But it's effectively Ren and
Yeah, he'll get a
Stimpy.
certain amount of it.
It's Ren and
Yeah.
Stimpy art style
helped.
with Ghostbuster style gameplay in terms of you kill these ghosts, you have to vacuum these ghosts up. Each ghost you vacuum up gets you a certain amount of money. You're in this dead end job, hence the title Dead End Job, and you're looking to save up enough money to leave and start up your own ghost evacuation company. Basically, that's the whole idea of the game. It looks fun. Well, it was fun when I played it. Kind of quick, and I don't want to make it sound bad, but like shallow arcade action in terms of where you jump in. You probably play it for an hour on the Switch, put it down. I'll pick up another time, play for an hour or so, put it down.
Yeah.
It's not a game I'm going to be like staying awake at night to try and finish. But next up, Kingdom Under Fire 2. I've never even heard of Kingdom Under Fire, if I'm being honest. And actually reading about this more, I was like, this sounds kind of interesting. So it's a PC game, only game. Kingdom Under Fire 2 is an expansion launch with it. It is the next installment in the MMO RTS saga. So the game is an MMO where you have RTS mechanics as well. That's real-time strategy mechanics. Where you're obviously trying to get from like your point and try and kill the opponent's point. I don't know what you call it. Like in MMOs, you have a well, whatever they have a fountain, and you got to destroy their fountain. But this is on a bigger scale.
That's not an MMO. That's a MOBA.
Oh, I'm thinking of MOBA, aren't I? Scrap that. It's not on MOBA.
It's an MMO.
It's an MMO.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I told you.
Yeah.
It's not MOBA.
Okay.
MMO, but then the MMO action plays out when it zooms out, and it's a lot bigger on the RTS style action, shall we say? The trailer looks fine, looks good. Kingdom Under Fire 2 is a huge update. It brings tons of new units. It's bringing a lot of new classes, all this kind of stuff into it. Reading into this game's massive out in the East, like.
Right.
A lot of Asian countries play a lot of it.
Sorry, I'm just having a quick read. It was announced in January 2008.
The original game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
has been subject to delay and changes. Released platforms. A closed beta test began in December 2011.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I think the original's been out since 2014. Correct me if I'm wrong.
13.
2013. And then this is the original game's been like had a bit of a die-hard base, and this is their, from what I could see, this is their attempt to get more across to the Eastern market. So there's lots of
Eastern or Western?
Western market.
Right, okay.
So there's lots of still very much Eastern inspired, but it's lots of kind of Western monsters you can control. Very much looks like something from Total War, if that makes sense. Like stuff that you can be, it looks cool. There's this big demon creature that I can control and things like that. So I'm interested to give it a go. I am interested to try it out. There you go. This is so the way it
Dynasty
works.
Warriors.
So you have MMO elements, but you can zoom into your champion, your single character, and then you can play, like you said, Dynasty Warrior style battles. And then zoom out, and then you can control these armies, and then zoom back into your champion. Which sounds really cool.
There you go. Yeah.
There you go. So I'm imagining you're gonna need a pretty taxing PC for it because there's a lot going on. A lot going. There you go. It's like Scorpions there.
Impressive looking. Yeah.
I
wouldn't play, but
that actually looks really interesting.
I can get you a key for it if you want to give it.
I was about to take the big time out of it, but that looks quite good.
Yeah, I mean you're playing with Ganondorf.
It's quite seamless as well.
So yeah, but I'm interested to give it a go. I'm yet to find an MMO that I can stick with. The most time I put into an MMO was Final Fantasy 14.
You played it quite a while, didn't you?
I think I've got like 50 hours into
That's
it.
quite a lot of that.
But then in an MMO, that's like that's not a main game.
Crazy hours into Warcraft. I mean, stupid. Like
world off.
Like he's saying, I've put 50, 60 hours. I put a month in at least. And I'm not. I mean a physical month if you were to take it out separately of my life and back. So,
my boss at work was a big WoW player back in the day.
But no, so it looks. I'll try and get us a couple of keys.
See if we can get us a couple of keys for that.
I know I can definitely get one because they keep asking me for it.
Scorpion.
So
see already, but if you're jumping in, you're like, do this, try that. There's a real interesting mix of, because I've been saying for ages I want a real-time strategy game. I've been after a good real-time strategy game you can introduce, but if I can mix between Dynasty Warriors and an RTS where I'm having to think tactically about the whole battle, but every now and again I can jump in and just kick some ass.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a freaking sweet game.
Yeah. Well, cool. I will look into it. And final little piece of news is Wreckfest. Wreckfest is a kind of Demolition Derby style racing game.
Oh yeah.
It's got a new, so it's out already on PC and consoles. But it's got a new DLC coming, which is, this showed me the game is having a lot of fun with what it's trying to do. So this is adding, the season pass adds 20 new cars, and there's 5 expansions coming for that. One that has slightly less cars, because basically this one's bringing 3 cars into the expansion. So it's £4 solo if you don't have the season pass, or the season pass I think is 15 quid to get 20 cars. Now you have 2 pretty bog standard cars you'd expect. There's a hot rod and there's a European tuner car. But the last one is
slightly fishy.
The last one is an old wooden shack portaloo. But you're literally, the driver is genuinely sat, trousers down, on the crapper with a steering wheel. And the only tagline it says with it is, please don't make this car go upside down.
Nice.
And I'm like, do you know what? These guys are just being stupid. And I like that.
I like that.
It's a Demolition Derby game.
I absolutely loved, and me and a mate of mine, we played crazy hours. We used to go around each other's house. Well, actually, I spent more time around his. And we played Destruction Derby 2. And completed that game. That was our thing. Me and him were going to get together and complete that game. I love those mental. Let's just beat shit out of cars. Let's do these ones. I remember in Destruction Derby, you had the bowl and everyone just charged into the middle just to crash into each other.
Yeah.
If you were smart, you didn't run into that middle bit. You just went round. Yeah. But there was points you were like,
"I'm smart." You aim for it.
Yeah. That was it.
If you're boring, you don't.
Fell off and.
But it's just fun.
So I quite like the idea of. I don't know Wreckfest.
So we have tons of games out there that try to be serious. This is a straight up Demolition Derby game. It originally released on console about a year ago, but then got pulled very quickly because there was a lot of performance issues with the game, and it was running fine on PC but wasn't running well on console. So they then delayed it by about 9 months and really worked hard on it. I mean, it went to early access in PC, and now they've released it, and apparently it's running absolutely perfectly. Now it's running very nicely. So these are the new cars. There's a hot rod, there's the European tuner, and there's but yeah, it looks very pretty. I think the game looks quite pretty.
That looks really nice. Game, yeah.
There you go. There's the little toilet. like Portaloo toilet thing that you're on with a little heart symbol on the back as well.
Nice. Let the smell out.
It's just
very slow.
It's just a little bit stupid.
They've got the crossroad in the middle. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm liking the look of this game. This is a game I could seriously get into.
So yeah, it's just a little bit stupid, but it was a bit of fun news I thought I'd bring us before we jump into potentially the well, not potentially, but we're going to chat about now what we're titling the demise of AAA. I'm playing too much Mythgard. I should just play the death of AAA, but the demise is the death ability in AAA in Mythgard. So what is that you're playing as a Combine Harvester?
Yeah.
Oh my! How can we get 3 keys for this?
I can try. There's a school bus.
See how many keys you can get for this.
So yeah, we will DNF.
That'll be how I'll be playing.
Yeah.
So the death of AAA. Now the reason I'm talking about this is there's various reasons. There's obviously this year I think has I feel like, and this is me speaking personally now, I'm not speaking for either of the guys next to me, and they can by all means jump in and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like, not necessarily between us, but in the gaming community in general, there's been this very bizarre acceptance for the last kind of 8 years where the huge 50 quid games have been releasing unfinished, not like over monetized, things like that, and people have been like turning a slight blind eye to it, being like, okay, I just look at it for the game. I won't play this mode or anything like that. And it's been getting worse and worse and worse and worse. It was only probably until last year where, for lack of a better term, shit started hitting the fan and people started to actually call out Activision and they actually started to call out EA. There was a couple of people beforehand, but noise really started to raise last year. But still, in my opinion, probably not enough noise because they still got away with it for this year. However, I feel like this year has finally actually been the turning point of the year of this generation where gamers are actually going, no, we're just not going to buy the game now. And people are straight up saying, well, no, you can't get away with this anymore. And companies are genuinely getting screwed over because they're screwing themselves over with what they're trying to release. Now, I have gone through and I've tried to do as much research on this as possible because I don't want people watching thinking, oh, he's just being a subjective idiot now. Like, I have gone through lots. So I've got the date of the exact first loot box in a game and how it kind of evolved from there. I've gone through the 5 or 6 huge AAA stories from this year to show where to go on. So the big stories from this year that have kind of really started sparking off is, well, very recently we had the fact that Bethesda have announced $100 season pass, which is like
to a game that no one likes.
Speaking shortly, is just exactly what Blizzard done with the whole Diablo thing in terms of not knowing their audience, not knowing what the people want.
It's like they shut themselves away and they don't listen to the outside world in any way.
Yeah, well, I'll get through these and then we'll really chew the fat. Then things like FIFA this year released with a broken career mode, and this is coming off the back of 3 years where they worked hard to. I say worked hard. They put in a single player mode, a strict single player story mode in the game, to then release this year without a story mode, but then release with literally a career mode that you can play. You get sacked by not doing anything. Your contracts get terminated. You can't play career mode. There is no single player mode in terms of career mode in FIFA. And people instantly started calling out. That happened 2 years ago. I think people go, oh, it will get patched soon. But now they're like, no, this isn't on. Anthem was rushed by EA and released. It's now starting very loosely to come around to be the game that clearly BioWare wanted it to be, but we're still probably a year away from that being the case.
It's too late.
But it still crashes.
And it's so much. It's way too late, like you said.
Too late,
Ubisoft literally came out this week and used the words disaster when they're referring to Ghost Recon Breakpoint. They literally said the game has been an absolute financial disaster. It's broken. It's cost them way much more money to make than they ever made back on the game. People are dropping the game straight away. It's the lowest player base they've ever had in a game 2 weeks after launch. So that's cost them massively. I think these games aren't cheap to make. Yes, they can nick assets from the Division and throw it in Breakpoint. They still got massive salaries to be covering.
Yeah.
So it's not cheap to make. And then the big thing, or another big thing that I think is quite big, is earlier this year, Bungie literally cheered when they departed from Activision. And I think if you go back 10 years, I think it'll be vice versa in terms of, I think the not that Bungie are ever small, but the idea of being of joining forces with a huge company like EA or Activision 10 years ago would have been something that many devs would have relished, because they'd have been like, wow, we have untapped resources, we have all this money. 10 years on, you've now got these developers who are screaming to try and part with EA. Probably BioWare can't ever come out and say it because they'll get screwed like in a official legal manner, but they're probably screaming, and fans are probably just like, just drop EA, drop them, and let BioWare do what Bungie done when they kind of take a step back. And I mean, Bungie had a game out in terms of Destiny 2. BioWare don't have a game out, but just go, BioWare come out and say, do you know what? We're going to struggle, but we're not going to release anything for 2 years, and we're going to bring you back Mass Effect, our Mass Effect, in 2 years' time. Like,
EA won't drop in that fire, everyone.
No, exactly, they won't.
Yeah.
So that's the stories from 2019, which has showed it's gone downhill. And what I suppose I wanted to start off with there, guys, before we got onto the whole loot box thing, because that's another that's another thing that's going to demise. But it's still, I think that's been a part in fact, like, that's made it, that's a sour taste in people's mouth now.
Yeah.
Do you feel like this year people have been a lot more vocal about calling out bullshit?
I thought you were going to go with a different question. I had a different thing there.
What question was you going to
I thought, do you think this is the death of AAA?
Okay, what do you think is the death of AAA?
I thought that's where we're going. Crying out bullshit? No, I don't think this is a different year for people crying out bullshit. I think we have the same amount of people crying out.
Maybe have more bullshit this year, maybe.
I think what we're looking at is a repeat of something we had historically back in the early 80s. So, for those of you youngsters out there, sit down, take a chair, and we should teach you.
Alive in the 80s.
But back before Nintendo released the Nintendo Entertainment System, we had the Atari, and there was a massive push for, we're just going to get as many fucking games out there. People are eating these up. The big famous one is E.T. the Extraterrestrial, which was buried away and is blamed for destroying the market. It's not true. It didn't destroy the market. The market was destroyed by publishers.
Game of the year, isn't it?
Game of the year. Yeah. The market was destroyed by publishers because publishers saw, we can make money out of this. We're going to push it to its fucking extreme. We're going to put the worst shit out there that is possible. We don't care because idiots will buy it. And I think we're basically seeing a repeat of that now. We're seeing a repeat of where publishers have taken control of the developers and have gone, just push that shit out there. Get it out there. They'll buy loot boxes. They'll buy magic cards. They'll buy fucking, what's the stupid teams? My sexy teams in FIFA. Ultimate teams.
Yeah.
They'll buy V-Bucks. They'll buy costumes. They'll buy all that shit around it. Your game can be crap. We only need 2 weeks to pull in the cash. And back in the 80s, it actually destroyed the market to the point that so many companies went bankrupt and they weren't looking at it.
Could have been the end then.
It could have been the complete end of gaming. Luckily, Nintendo came along.
Thank God.
And went, hey, it's me, Mario. We're going to spend actual time on these games. We're going to make sure what we put out is a finished product. We're not just going to release a shit ton of games. Later on, they did that. But at the start, they were very strict about it. And we've kind of hit that point again, where publishers have taken over the game development market.
Definitely true.
They have pushed out shit, and they've started turning around developers. No, that doesn't matter. It's got to have loot boxes. We've got to say that it's a live service, and we've got to have a 10-year roadmap. And then we're going to put in season passes, and we're going to do all of this, and it's money making around it, and the content's not there. And as people, we've started turning around and going, hang on, I'm not fucking having that. That's not good enough.
Yeah.
So no, I'm going to back off, and it's dying. And it's whereas before it actually affected the console makers, this time it's killing developers.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So the consoles have made so much money. They're in every home now. They're not going to die
anyway. So
exactly.
Yeah.
But I think what we're going to see is the destruction of developers. To the point that then we'll have the same sort of thing where publishers will go, oh shit, there's no money, and they'll bugger off. The same way they did with Atari. Yep. They pushed it in, it all died. They went, well, that was a fun experiment. We made billions, let's move on. And then slowly we'll see a rise in developers again. And I think we're kind of hitting that point where publishers are about to lose everything. We're going to lose a shit ton of really great people. Really great developers, really clever, interesting writers, and they're going to be ruined But then we should see a rise in developers again. And
we're potentially, sorry.
No, go on.
We're potentially going to lose, along with that, some iconic IPs.
Yes.
So things like, if BioWare do go under, or say EA go, no, you liquidated.
You're done, yeah, goodbye.
Mass Effect is probably just gone.
Yeah,
like, you never get another Mass Effect. Now, do you think in the modern era of where stuff like Kickstarter stars, this is very much speculating, BioWare, not as BioWare, as
company,
PioWare,
yeah,
can come out on Kickstarter and say, we're going to make Effect Mass, and we're going to do this game. We want... It's going to cost 20 million.
I know what you mean, but they can't be that.
No, but
yeah.
No, as in, you know what I mean? Yeah.
He won't be allowed to name this shit. Let's go there.
I'd play Effect Mass.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Palo, mate. Palo.
I love Palo.
Do you think? But do you think?
No, you're thinking of Poutine.
Do you think the gaming community would turn
this
around?
Episode sponsored by Poutine
and support? Go, yeah, well, I probably would. I'd probably go Mass Effect by just BioWare indie.
We've already had that. Unfortunately, what came out was a massive failure. But Mighty Number 9.
Yeah.
Oh,
which
yeah,
we've already
Mega Man.
seen. Yeah, Mega Man was not going to be released by the publishers. They're like, you can't do that, and they went, we're going to have Mighty Number 9.
Yeah.
I made this thing. I'm not allowed to use it, but I want to bring you that game again. I can love that IP. I want to bring it to you again. I'm going to give you new things. And all the people on Kickstarter went, you know what? You're damn bloody right. I bloody love that game. I want to do it. Unfortunately, what they released was shit. Right?
But the idea was there.
The idea was there. So we've already got a proven track record of these things will and can happen. I mean, we're still waiting for Shenmue. But the money's there and the people are waiting for it. So, and you can be damn right. If someone turned around and went, look, they fucked us, and we're going to make not Bioshock. Well, you can make Bioshock, but Mass Effect.
Yeah.
But we're calling it. What did you call it? Effect Mass.
Effect Mass.
We're making Effect Mass.
It affects my mass, if you're not.
Then, well, Tom's already signed up. And
Yeah.
he's tighter than the Northerner.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just, you're there, you've made it.
Yeah.
I'd probably even fund that one and I haven't played I have played Mass Effect. I thought it was shit, but
what a fool!
But
Too deep for it.
I'm a big fan of letting developers make games they want to make.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I've never been disappointed by a game where a developer has just been able to go and do it. The only time I'm ever disappointed by a game, or at least seems to be, is when they've been like, well, we need to push this out because of money.
Yeah.
We need to push this out because our publishers have said, you've got this date to do it, and it's unfinished.
Yeah.
You know, when a developer has that dream, that idea, that vision, well, most of the time what you get at the end is fucking weird shit. But you love it.
Do you think with the indie market is getting more and more competitive in terms of it's actually starting to break through the door now in terms of, like, I always go back to him, but my brother-in-law, who is your Battlefield now, I think, used to be COD, but Battlefield now, and FIFA player every year.
Yeah.
He starts texting me more and more and more saying, oh, like, this game looks pretty cool. What's this like? And they're always indie games. So he's starting to dabble into it more. With these games coming out that are getting more competitive, that are kind of coming onto consoles and offering what looks like a AAA experience, but from an indie developer, do you think then people going into this, and do you think publishers like EA, UB, Bethesda are potentially one or two bad games away from being in serious trouble in terms of someone buys Ghost Recon Breakpoint, they're like, oh my god, this is bad. The next game is terrible, and they're like, well, I can just go play this game that this indie made. It's half the amount of time. Or like, for example, they're going to play Obsidian's new The Outer Worlds, which is technically an indie game because Obsidian made it.
Well, that's another good example of we're going to do our own one.
Yeah.
So they're doing Fallout again.
So they go, and like all the reviews for it are basically saying it's a non-buggy Fallout.
Well, it's 9 and above. It's hitting 91s and everything.
Very good,
I've only heard one criticism of it.
What's that?
And people are saying it's too safe in terms of it's their first. They get it's their first game release, but it feels like they could have been a bit bolder on their storytelling, and they've gone down a very safe route.
Okay.
With their storytelling.
That's
the only. That's the
wait
only.
for the sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they know how to sell a game. Whoever's in their sales department have gone, you know what? Yeah. Next game, do that. This game, let's make it so it appeals to the mass media.
I've dabbled in it, but by that I mean like an hour, and the gunplay already feels so much nicer than any Fallout game I've ever played. So yeah, like, but that's an example. Like Obsidian going there. So someone goes, like, let's say they're a Fallout 76 player, and they've never even heard of
Who?
the Archbox. And then let's say this announcement came, the £100 subscription thingy, and they're like, this is ridiculous. They go pick up this up, and they enjoy this game. Do they then think, actually, I'm not going to play? I'm like, the next Fallout game comes, I'm just going to stick with the next Obsidian game. Like, do you think these big publishers are actually closer to failing than we think? We think they have tons of money, but money isn't endless, and they have a lot of studios.
Maybe
to
some
pay.
of them. I mean, companies like EA can never die. It's going to take a lot.
Their sports franchise will never die. It's a
That's the
huge
thing, they print
esports
money with those
scene.
kind of things, don't they? So, like, even when they bring out games like, you know, Andromeda, which is crap.
Anthem.
Anthem, yeah.
Anthem still made money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
well,
was
these games make money.
Still made money.
But it damages their image.
And it also damages, I think, other games. And I mean that by
Other games?
people are already apprehensive about Fallen Order. And it's not like it's not Respawn's
That's
fault.
true, yeah.
That
Because it's an
Anthem's
EA,
bad,
EA
but your average Joe Blogs doesn't know that Respawn developed. They think, oh, it's an EA developed it. Like they don't know that there's these.
They don't know the
That's
developers,
really
studio.
they
good
know
point.
the
Yeah, I
publishers.
mean, I actually watched a video this week about Battlefront 2, about them versus now when it came
Yeah.
out, and all its problems come from EA.
Yeah.
The loot boxes, that's not
No,
DICE,
no.
that's EA.
Yeah.
And they pushed it out earlier than they wanted it to because EA wanted to get it out on time for the new film, whatever.
Yep.
And they say now that EA are sort of, they haven't put these pressures on DICE anymore, and it's more become DICE's game. People say it's really good because obviously all DLC is completely free. There's no season passes. They've fixed gameplay. They've gotten rid of loot boxes because there was so much backlash when that came out. Remember that?
Yeah.
That got tore apart because it was game-breakingly bad. The loot boxes. It was pay to win.
Well, speaking about loot boxes, do you want to know when they first started coming into games?
Can I, before we get onto
Sit down and
that,
get on that quickly,
before we get on, I want to get onto loot boxes.
Yeah,
I
I'd
really
like to-
do
I'd like
want
to
to
know
get
when
onto
they
loot
first
boxes, especially
started,
when they
yeah.
first, because I can't think of when the first one was. But before we get into that, I don't think that the average person does.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
But mainly because we sit in the middle of the storm. So we're sitting there and we constantly look at this gaming shit going around us. So to us, we're very much like, well, obviously everyone knows all this crap going on. Most people don't.
Yeah.
Most people have not a clue. And you're saying, oh, they think it's an EA game. I was teaching coding to the kids. And a lot of them, they don't even know there's a publisher or a developer involved. They think these things appear out of nowhere. So when you're going through and going, well, this is the coding and this is the systems they go through and these are the stages of how to make a game, which is hilarious, by the way, having me teach that. Because, I mean, what the f do I know? This is how you make a game, children. You buy a game and then you put it in a machine. And then the
buy
machine...
Little Big Planet.
That's
how all
it.
games are made.
That's it.
They're made on Little Big Planet,
yeah, the same engine. You buy Doom, and then you go into the editor, and then you put your teachers in the background, and your mom is the final boss. I never did that. Just in case she's watching this.
She watched, didn't she? Your mum does watch it.
I played one.
So I don't think the general game player sees that. I think the big thing at the moment is that your general game player is now watching people on YouTube and Twitch. And the people on YouTube and Twitch who are involved in this world are now telling them.
Yeah.
And because that is their source of information now, as anyone listening to this podcast is like, okay, my source of information is us three, you poor bastard. Right? Is them going, well, hang on, no, I'm not going to deal with that because Indie Credible said that's stupid. They don't really know.
Yeah.
They're just taking it from people
Maybe.
telling them, and now we have more voices putting that out there,
Yeah.
and people who are dealing with
becoming
this
more
have it.
common
It's
knowledge.
becoming more common knowledge.
Yeah.
But I don't think they know. Because they are just standing out there going, oh, my YouTube told me this.
Yep. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
That's
Fair
right.
enough.
Now tell me, loot box.
Loot boxes.
When was the first
The
one?
first ever loot box.
Yeah.
Well, it actually came around in 2004.
Wow.
Okay.
And it was
Gotcha.
it was
PS2
in
era.
it was
I
in
thinking
the
earlier, but go on.
Eastern Market in Maple Story, the original Maple Story
Right,
game.
yeah.
It cost 100 Chinese
Massive in
yen
yeah,
in China.
Korean
Your
and
dad's,
China.
your brother
My
played
dad.
it. I played
My
a bit.
dad did not play Maple
I
Story.
played a bit of Maple Story 2 with your brother, and it was not really for me. It's an MMO style kind of online game. But in the West, the first loot box in a game was where you could buy raffle tickets to then get the chance to win a a cosmetic item was TF2.
Team Fortress. I was about to say hats, yeah.
Hats on, yeah.
In 2010. And then it wasn't then until 2012 when the console more open market started jumping on it.
Yeah.
And games in 2012 that had loot boxes in or random monetization rewards, as they referred to them back then, was obviously COD, Battlefield, FIFA, Gears of War 3, and Mass Effect 3 had it for the multiplayer.
Oh, I never played multiplayer on that.
So, and then it was after 2012 where there's an infograph and it literally goes like this.
That's because they saw the money you could make from it and went, shit me, we need that. Yep. Everyone does it. And now everyone does season passes and everyone does cosmetics and everyone doesn't actually make a game anymore. No one finishes a game. The amount of times I sit on Twitter and people are like, oh, do you remember in the old days when you got a full game on the cartridge?
And that was it. That was the whole thing.
You've finally seen my little office.
I have seen it. Yeah, I've been in there.
Which is I can't remember what you called it now. You didn't know where to look.
That's what I didn't know where to start. It was just so many things.
So much,
lots of cool stuff there, isn't there?
In that room. There, yeah. But a lot of those finished games. They're finished games on cartridges. Doesn't mean they're great. Doesn't make sense. But they're finished.
Games don't get finished.
I mean, I refer to it again. The Outer Worlds isn't really my kind of go-to game in terms of if I had to choose off a list of games that I wanted to play. That wouldn't be my first go-to game. I'm not a big Fallout fan, but I'm looking forward to playing it because it is I won't say how long it is because I know how long it is from a review I watched. It kind of said, and I know your brother watched this and he doesn't want any spoilers. So, but I know it is a set time, complete, finished, single-player game that has no. Yes, it could be DLC, but there's nothing. There's no loot boxes. There's no monetization. There's none of that nonsense. It just goes. There's a start. There's a middle. There's an end. When it's done, you can put it down. If you want to play it again and get different perks and different roles because it's kind of got an RPG element, you can. But it's done.
If it's less than 12 hours, tweak your left nipple.
It's definitely not less than 12 hours. I can promise you that. But yeah, and so that's why I'm looking forward to playing that game because I can't remember the last time I played a game like that.
I think they're making a comeback though.
I think single players are making a comeback.
Yeah, big time. Thank God. Single player games are my shit.
Like I liked. I know you weren't huge on it, but
who needs them when you have compelling characters?
I liked Gears 5 for its story mode, but still that has all the junk in it as well.
Yeah.
But as a story mode, I just sat down and played the 12 hours of that for story mode, and I really liked it. Yeah. Maybe we want to go play Gears 4 again, so I played half Gears 4 again and was like, I really don't like this game. I can appreciate the story that's going on with this, and I appreciate what 5 does to get you invested in the story.
It's like Age of Ultron, Civil War.
I just don't like. I just don't like number 4. I don't like the characters in it. I don't know where it goes. But I still like 5, and so that's. But it's not. That's not a single player focused game because there's still moments in that where it links, like it makes you do levels at like horde mode levels, and it's trying to sell these other modes to you to get you to go in there and things like that. Whereas this Outer Worlds is just no nonsense, mate. There you go. There's your slab of single player steak. Enjoy.
How many hours was that steak?
I'm not saying. I'll tell you off air.
I will just text my brother.
So
just so you know.
So
hi Tom.
Last question then on this. Is independent the way forward? And what I mean by that is Bungie. They fought hard to get away from Activision.
So you think developers
they got away from Activision.
Right. So they were like do you think developers should move away from publishers?
But as in do you think developers are gonna do you think there's gonna be this not uproar, but do you think some devs are gonna come out some way and be like, we are leaving you, we're gonna make it hard, but we're gonna leave you? Like
they'll Brexit their way out of the air or something, But I think
I just used some Brexit. I really like that.
It's becoming a verb.
Yeah, I like it.
I think if that happens, big developers like Bungie or whatever, let's say BioWare leave EA. They'll leave and they'll become. They are big developers on their own, but if they self-publish, they will just become publishers. That's what happens. A developer starts a developer, and then it becomes a publisher.
A publisher, yeah.
Yes and no.
It'll just with the cycle.
But they're not, if they only ever publish their own stuff, technically not. But
that won't happen.
Well, that means they're
money.
As soon as you publish your own thing, you are a publisher.
Yeah.
And then they'll start being like, oh, maybe we'll start getting.
But there's some
we really like what they're doing.
Bethesda were a publisher.
Yeah. But there's some companies that do it.
Sorry, and now they are a publisher as well.
There's some companies do it well, like Gearbox. Gearbox publish a lot of indie games. They help a lot of indie games get support and go out there.
Okay.
Yeah, so does Square Enix.
Square Enix do a lot.
You know.
So they can exist, but do you like? So in reality, surely EA, Ubisoft, and Activision, are gonna. They're not going to get another dev studio under them, are they? Is a developer genuinely going to go and join?
Yes, because they have so much fucking money.
Well, the thing is, with companies like that, usually when Ubisoft, they absorb them.
Yeah,
it's not like
it's
not BioWare
with
published by Ubisoft. It becomes Ubisoft East.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, it's just more Ubisoft.
But what I mean then is like or Bethesda should be in there as well. But you know, like so for example, EA have BioWare or they have Respawn.
Yeah.
But do you think they're not going to get another big company, are they? There's not like Bungie aren't ever going to go and join. Yeah. Do you think if they lose companies, they're gonna? I mean, EA's a different ballgame because they have an internal developer, which is the sports franchise.
Yeah.
And then, but Bethesda, for example, they have their internal games, but not many of them. And do you think they could be in trouble? Do you think Bethesda could be in trouble if
any of the big ones are in trouble? It's probably Bethesda at the moment because they've had the most missteps in a row out of anyone so far.
Do you think Blizzard as a development company? Because they're kind of going publishing, but they are. People are really down on Blizzard at the moment, especially with this whole Hearthstone stuff as well.
Yeah, Hearthstone, Diablo.
I think they've had a bad public perception time, but financially, they've not.
I'd like to see
They've released WoW Classic, which has been an absolute massive hit, and has smashed
People
it.
have been asking that for years.
Hearthstone has still chucked in the cash as they go along.
Its player base has dropped by 60% since the event.
They're still making a
lot of money,
cash from it. So no, and you know, Blizzard is one of the only real publishers who run their own event, who have people. You know, we're talking the
mobile
serious, the mobile event. Yeah, would you not have a phone? Come on!
I
still love this.
I still love watching this every now and then.
It just makes you smile. But no,
Blizzard used to be cool.
Blizzard are not in trouble. EA are not in trouble. Bethesda maybe.
Yeah.
Because Bethesda are reliant on certain IPs.
Yeah.
What's the next?
They own.
Doom, but that's been delayed.
A lot, yeah. But I think they'll do well.
Doom will do well.
They're doing a new Elder Scrolls. I think they've learned their lesson.
That could be their saviour. That could be their saviour.
Yeah.
Nah.
Do you think?
No, it's going to be a massive flop because they're going to do exactly the same things. They're going to try and push money into it.
I'm really hoping that they learn the lesson.
I hope they...
No, you don't learn lessons as a multi-billion-pound company. You don't. You just sit there and go... Because even though...
Sony hasn't learned anything.
Even though all of these last games have been a flop, they haven't. They
still made money, yeah.
Financially, they haven't been a flop. They haven't made the money they predicted, but the money they predicted was ridiculous.
It's still a profit.
It's still a profit.
Yeah.
They're only going to learn once they start losing cash.
You're right, yeah.
Yeah.
And none of these companies have lost cash. Well, they haven't.
It's like you said, with companies that get so big, it must be a threshold somewhere where you start making a certain amount of money, the company becomes so complex that it loses any sense of reason.
Yeah.
It becomes an EA. It becomes I can do whatever the fuck I want.
And it doesn't matter.
Because I've got so much money, it doesn't matter how much I fuck up.
Yeah.
And I who cares if people hate me?
Because it really doesn't matter.
I'm still a billionaire. So who cares?
You do sit there. I mean, think about EA, which is one of the most hated publishers out there. And it is truly hated by people.
They've won worst company in the world.
Worst company in the world. Yet they're still there. Oh, Madden came out. People didn't like it. Oh, I've just made $1 trillion on that. Oh, you cut me deep. Oh, your words.
Exactly.
Cha-ching,
write your little blog.
Yeah.
Who cares?
I don't care because everyone goes out there and buys it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People bought FIFA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
buy it every year.
People bought Madden. People bought and they will. As
NBA,
as you were saying about your brother-in-law who's out there and he's like, oh, what's this game like? He still bought FIFA.
Yeah.
And these people don't. They're not in the.
And I'm
sphere of
I'm still gonna.
People,
I was on an iron about it. I normally always buy the Need for Speed game. Everyone has a new one. I wasn't going to buy this one because I was like, oh, it looks like a reskin. I then watching some previews from people who I appreciate and respect.
Yeah.
And hearing what they're saying, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to buy Need for Speed now. They've said good things about it. I love Need for Speed franchise.
I'm going to buy Fallen Order. I'm giving them money.
Like,
you know, it's the thing that they're always going to make money no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because as part of you,
they would have to release like the most racist game where.
Oh, there'll still be a market for it.
I think if
they release the game on Epic.
But I think that'd be the end of the company.
I mean, EA go Epic exclusive. That's the only way to piss people off.
You release.
That would piss more people off than if they brought out Blackface the game.
You released FIFA KKK, which is about running a Ku Klux Klan football team, right? And they'd still make money because I'd buy that game. It's like, did they really make that game?
Would you buy Birth of a Nation, the video game?
Only if it's an Epic exclusive.
Everyone would go, no!
But you would, because you wouldn't believe anyone would do that. And then you'd buy it, and then they'd be sitting there, well, that one worked really well. Let's put out Genocide the game. Yeah. Pick the religion you don't like. Let's wipe them from the planet.
Get rid of them. A cleanse, finally.
Oh, it's time to kill the left-handed people. You know,
lefties,
just
mate. You know,
lefties,
vegans.
Kill
the vegans.
I've had enough of them.
Oh no, so many people would buy that game anyway.
that would unironically do well.
Yeah. You're all right though. The Epic Store exclusivity does genuinely build up more hatred,
which is pathetic,
than sometimes when EA release a bad game, or a rough game. It's just insane.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we won't go there.
World we live in.
We won't go there. But
what were we talking about?
I think that's
AAA's,
unless
AAA.
anyone's got anything to add to a closing statement on the.
I don't think there will ever be a death of the AAA. I think there will be a rise of the developer.
Yeah, and you'll get these indie titles. They will become AAA titles.
Yeah, as we're seeing more and more.
That's just
now.
how it works. So that they rise in the ranks, and then it'll get to the point where these games aren't indie anymore. You'll be like, oh, but it makes so much money that it's AAA.
An example like that would be Focus Home. They're kind of they've gone from go back 5 years to what they were publishing to now. They're very much publishing that AA almost into the AAA.
I hate to say it as well because they're not quite there, but Devolver Digital. Devolver Digital have gone from being the quirky, edgy, they're going to release something odd to the. They're not AAA.
They're getting close.
But they are the cult game company now.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what they release. Doesn't matter if it's shit or not. You want to like Devolver Digital because they're out there.
Yeah.
True. But anyway, guys, anything you want to add at all? No.
That's it.
Well, that was it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the little discussion at the end there. And if you've got any thoughts on it, patrons can let us know in the Discord channel, or anybody else can let us know in the comments below. If you want to be part of that Discord channel and join the chat with us, $1 a month over on patreon.com/IndieCredible will get you access to a Discord channel, will get you access to the pre and post show content, and it'll get you a host of other things as well. There are other tiers available if you want to support us there. Link to our Patreon is also in the description below. But now you can wrap it up now, guys, and we're going to move on to our post show content. So everybody who stopped by to watch or listen, thank you very much, guys, for stopping by. Like I said at the beginning, if you did watch but you want to catch audio time in audio form next time, all podcast services we are available, and vice versa. If you listen to us and you fancy, do you know what? I can have these guys on at home on the side screen while I'm doing some work. We're available on YouTube as well, where we got there every Monday. The new podcast episode is launched. But with me chewing all the fat as always this week was Dan from At the Dice Bear.
Go Hawks.
And Tom from At Shriek and Profit.
Go.
Yeah, go on.
Is it Eagles? It is Eagles. Yeah.
So if you guys want to
go Birds is better.
If you guys want to follow those guys over on social media, then you can catch them at the Dice Bear or at Shriek and Profit, or you can catch me at What's Up Woody. Twitter's probably the best place, but you can find us pretty much anywhere if you want to. Until next time, guys, thank you very much for stopping by. Thank you for watching and listening. Have a great day, morning, evening, whatever it is where you are, and just make sure you guys stay indie credible.
Make sure of that, please.
Yes, make sure.
And goodbye.